Long before books, before temples, before the first word for God was ever spoken, a single sentence was carved into the vibration of existence: as above, so below. It was not written in ink or stone. It was written in the rhythm of stars, in the spiral of galaxies, in the double helix of your own DNA. Every atom still hums with it. Every heartbeat repeats it. Those who first perceived this truth were not philosophers. They were listeners. They watched the sky and saw their own emotions mirrored in the weather of the heavens. They watched rivers and recognized their bloodstream. They looked into fire and saw consciousness burning behind their eyes. They realized that what moves in the vast moves in the small. What breathes in the cosmos breathes through them. You are hearing this call again now because humanity is remembering. Across the planet, something ancient stirs, a recollection that the outer world is not separate from the inner one. Every event, every coincidence, every rise and fall in your life is part of a single breathing organism called reality. When you say as above, so below, you speak the language of creation. You acknowledge that the same intelligence guiding the motion of galaxies guides the growth of a seed, the pulse of a neuron, the unfolding of a single thought. This is the first secret of correspondence, the mirror between worlds. Pause for a moment. Close your eyes and imagine the sky above you not as empty space, but as a living reflection of your own mind. Stars flicker as thoughts. Nebulae swirl as emotions. Black holes open where memories collapse into silence. Now feel your body as a miniature universe, of billions of cells orbiting your heart like planets around a sun. The pattern is identical, scaled by infinity. The cosmos is not out there. It is happening through you. This realization changes everything. Because if every plane mirrors every other, then nothing you do is meaningless. Every intention becomes architecture. Every emotion becomes weather. Every choice you make reshapes constellations inside and outside of you. You might wonder how such grandeur can be real. Modern science, with all its equations, secretly agrees. Physicists look into quantum fields and find galaxies repeating in miniature. Neurons in the brain connect like cosmic webs of dark matter. The dance of energy is fractal, self-referencing, infinite. Hermes was right. As above, so below, as below, so above. Yet this truth is not only cosmological, it is personal. Your life is a hologram of the entire universe. When you heal one wound within, a pattern of conflict dissolves somewhere else in the collective. When you forgive, light ripples outward, softening hearts you'll never meet. When you love purely, stars burn brighter. The ancients called this the law of correspondence. It teaches that everything visible is an echo of the invisible, and every invisible truth will eventually find its reflection in matter. It is the bridge between spirit and science, between prayer and physics, between heaven and earth. In the modern world, this wisdom was forgotten. We began to see ourselves as separatini observers, adrift in a cold universe. But you can feel the illusion cracking. The same way a tide returns after centuries of retreat, unity is flooding back into awareness. You sense it when synchronicities multiply, when dreams seem to predict reality, when your thoughts manifest faster than ever before. The web is tightening. You are both the spider and the thread. Stay with that thought. Imagine every human being as a note in a cosmic chord. When one soul shifts vibration, the harmony of the entire song changes. That is why awakening is contagious. Each time you rise in consciousness, you lift the frequency of the field itself. Now, breathe slowly. On the inhale, feel the vastness of the sky pour into you. On the exhale, feel your awareness flow outward into the stars. Above and below, dissolve. There is only the pulse-one breath, shared by creation and creature alike. This is not philosophy, it is participation. To live the law of correspondence is to live as an instrument, tuned to the cosmos. Then when you are tuned, life begins to play through you. Events align, people appear at precise moments. Your inner state scripts the outer story. This is the mystery hidden in plain sight. Every time you look up at the night sky, remember, you are not looking at the universe. You are looking into yourself. Those constellations are maps of your own unfolding. Orion rises when courage is required. Venus glows when love must be remembered. Each planetary motion is a message, written in symbol for the human heart. You are never separate from the heavens. You are the heavens in human form. And as that truth settles, a new awareness begins to dawn. If the above and the below are mirrors, then every polarity, every contrast, every conflict you experience is not opposition, but reflection. Light needs shadow to reveal shape. Sound needs silence to define tone. Joy needs sorrow to understand depth. The opposites are lovers, not enemies. That understanding opens the second chamber of the Hermetic temple, the revelation of polarity, the hidden engine of creation. We step toward it next. Everything that exists is vibration, and every vibration oscillates between two poles: expansion and contraction, inhale and exhale, birth and death. The pendulum of creation never stops. It only changes rhythm. You were taught to see opposites as battles: light versus dark, good versus evil, spirit versus matter. That polarity is not war, it is conversation. Without darkness, light would have no meaning. Without limitation, freedom could not be felt. Every contrast reveals dimension. Every shadow sharpens awareness. When Hermes spoke of as above so below, he was not promising perfection. He was describing balance. The sun rises and falls, and still the day remains whole. In the same way, your consciousness expands and contracts, learns and forgets, ascends and descends. Both movements serve awakening. Look at the attempt: positive and negative, dancing and endless exchange. Look at the galaxy stars, born from the collapse of darkness. Look at your heart opening, closing, opening again. The pattern never changes, only the scale does. Polarity is the teacher of compassion. When you understand that every quality contains its opposite, judgment dissolves. Fear becomes courage, waiting to remember itself. Anger hides unspoken love. Sadness is devotion, stripped of illusion. You begin to see that all experiences are gradients of the same light. In the mind of the universe, there is no condemnation, only contrast. Creation paints with every color, not only the bright ones. And you, as a fragment of that creator, are learning to do the same. Pause here. Take one slow breath. On the inhale, imagine drawing darkness into your lungs, not to keep it, but to understand it. On the exhale, release it as light. You have just practiced alchemy, transmuting polarity into harmony. That is the essence of Hermetic work: not to escape duality, but to unify it within awareness. When you can hold opposites without resistance, a third force appears: equilibrium. It is the still point around which the universe spins. Mystics call it the heart. In that center, miracles become ordinary. Because you are no longer swinging between extremes, you are orchestrating them. You move through joy and sorrow like a musician through notes, creating melody instead of noise. This is mastery, and it begins the moment you stop labeling one pole as holy and the other as shameful. Modern science glimpses this symmetry in its own language. For every particle, there is an antiparticle. For every action, an equal reaction. Reality preserves balance with mathematical grace. Hermes would smile. Physics has finally rediscovered prayer. But correspondence reaches further still. It does not end with matter or mind. It extends into meaning. The dream you had last night mirrors the question you've been avoiding. The stranger who annoyed you today carries a fragment of your forgotten self. Everything interacts. Everything reflects. When Carl Jung spoke of synchronicity, those moments when outer events echo inner states, he was describing the same law in psychological form. The psyche and the world are one continuous field. Your unconscious speaks through coincidence, because it knows you will listen to the external before the internal. Life itself becomes your therapist. Notice this pattern for a week. The songs that find you, the numbers that repeat, the phrases you overhear 3 times in a day. They are not random. They are resonance. Reality is responding to your frequency, showing you yourself in symbols. To live consciously is to read those symbols without fear. When something painful arrives, ask, what within me is this showing? When something beautiful arrives, ask, what within me is this celebrating? In both cases, the mirror answers. Slowly, the boundary between self and circumstance dissolves. You stop seeing life as a sequence of accidents and start recognizing choreography. Every meeting becomes sacred geometry. Every moment becomes an initiation. In this awareness, responsibility replaces victim. If everything corresponds, then your inner weather writes the script of your outer world. Change the current of thought, and new realities appear. This is not superstition, it is resonance made visible. Think of the universe as a vast web of strings vibrating through the same field. When you pluck one strand with emotion, the entire web sings back. Joy attracts symphonies of light. Fear attracts echoes that invite healing. Both are feedback, not punishment. The more harmoniously you vibrate, the more harmoniously life responds. Peace outside cannot exceed peace within. So when the world seems chaotic, the work is not to fix the mirror, but to still the source. Meditation, silence, kindness. These are tools for tuning the instrument. Try it now. Let the breath slow until it feels circular. Sense your thoughts like stars orbiting a quiet center. Each inhale draws them closer. Each exhale returns them to order. You are not controlling reality. You are aligning with its natural symmetry. As your alignment deepens, perception widens. You begin to see threads that others overlook. The way grief leads to empathy. How endings open beginnings, how every fall hides the physics of flight. It dawns on you that as above, so below is not merely description, it is invitation. The universe is asking you to participate consciously in its reflection. When you walk with awareness, the smallest gesture becomes cosmic. A kind word alters probability. A single act of forgiveness rewrites timelines. The ripple never ends. And that realization births reverence. You start treating life itself as temple. Every encounter is an altar. Every breath is incense rising to the unseen. You bow not out of duty, but out of recognition. The divine has been looking at you through every pair of eyes you've ever met. Feel that for a moment. Let the body remember what the mind forgot, that divinity is not elsewhere, waiting for worship. It is here, distributing itself through all forms. You are one of those forms. The sky bends inward through your gaze. The ground breathes upward through your feet. Between them, you stand as conduit, repeating the oldest prayer, as above, so below. Imagine existence as a single, infinite fabric. Every thread crosses every other. A tremor in one corner ripples through the entire design. You are that tremor, and you are that design. Every thought you have, every emotion you release, sends vibration through the field. That vibration becomes circumstance. It becomes the coincidence that startles you, the opportunity that arrives by chance, the stranger who speaks words you needed to hear. These are not accidents. They are the fabric answering back. As above, so below means that the macrocosm and the microcosm are one organism, breathing in rhythm. When you heal, the planet exhales. When you despair, clouds gather. When humanity dreams collectively of peace, even the magnetic field of Earth stabilizes. Science has begun to detect these homines, the heart's resonance, measurable in global data. Collective meditation, altering random number generators. The veil between mysticism and physics thins with every discovery. Look again at the smallest things. The orbit of electrons mirrors the orbit of moons. The DNA spiral repeats the spiral of galaxies. The rhythm of your heartbeat echoes the Schumann resonance of the planet. Creation recycles its geometry, carving infinity into every scale. This is not coincidence, it is signature. Once you recognize the signature, reverence follows naturally. You realize there is nothing unimportant. A leaf falling from a tree alters the pattern of sunlight on the ground, and that pattern changes the path of an ant, and that ant aerates soil that one day feeds you. Interconnection is not philosophy. It is ecology of consciousness. Hold that awareness the next time you speak. Your words are weather. They move through air, through minds, through generations. A sentence spoken in love can survive centuries, as kindness passed from parent to child. A thought steeped in fear can echo as conflict until someone chooses to transmute it. You have that power. In relationships, correspondence becomes mirror. Every person you meet reflects a quality waiting for recognition within you. The one who frustrates you teaches patience you have not yet claimed. The one who inspires you reminds you of forgotten potential. The one who breaks your heart cracks it open wide enough for light to enter. Once you see others as mirrors, blame evaporates. Empathy rises. You start to sense that you have never truly been in opposition with anyone, only dancing with different aspects of yourself. This is why compassion is the highest form of intelligence. It perceives unity beneath disguise. Try something now. Think of someone who triggers you. Picture them surrounded by the same light that animates you. Whisper inwardly, "You are another me, learning in your own way." Feel the armor dissolve. You've just practiced correspondence through empathy, transmuting judgment into understanding. The same principle operates within you. Your body is a parliament of galaxies' organs, cells, microbes, each with purpose, each reflecting cosmic order. When your mind attacks your body with shame or neglect, you create civil war within that universe. But when you listen, nourish, rest, the entire microcosm sings back into coherence. Self-love is planetary service at the smallest scale. Even technology participates. The internet, billions of connections pulsing with data, is the physical manifestation of humanity's collective mind. Learning to recognize itself, it is imperfect, chaotic, full of shadow, yet divine in origin. We are building externally what has always existed internally. A network of thought, a web of correspondence visible in pixels instead of prayers. In the same way, art, music, and science are translations of this unity. A symphony is the human nervous system externalized. Mathematics is the skeleton of God revealed in number. When Einstein wrote that the most incomprehensible thing about the universe is that it is comprehensible, he was acknowledging the mirror of the cosmos, recognizing itself through human cognition. As above, so below means the mind of God is thinking through human imagination. Every breakthrough, every invention, every act of compassion is the divine experimenting through you. When you understand this, humility and empowerment fuse. You realize you are both instrument and melody. At times, the immensity of it will overwhelm you. You'll ask, if everything is connected, why do I still feel separate? Because awareness moves in spirals. Each realization brings new layers of forgetting to illuminate. Don't despair. This is the dance of evolution. The spider weaves its web anew each morning, not because it failed yesterday, but because creation is ongoing. Whenever separation hurts, look for reflection. Notice how the same fear repeating in you appears simultaneously in the world's headlines. Notice how collective healing mirrors personal healing. Wars outside echo wars within. Peace treaties begin the moment one heart chooses forgiveness. You are not small. You are holographic. Take a deep breath and visualize threads of light extending from your chest to every direction. North, south, east, west, connecting to trees, oceans, cities, strangers. Each exhale strengthens the web. Each inhale draws its strength back into you. You are both source and participant. This is the secret the mystics guarded. The universe is not something you are in. It is something you are being. Even the stars participate in your story. The moment you were born, the sky arranged itself into a map of Patich's astrology. Is not superstition it, is correspondence in symbol. The movements of planets mirror the movements of inner archetypes. When Mars flares, desire and courage stir in humanity. When Venus glows, hearts soften. The heavens speak the language of reflection. The tarot, too, whispers the same code. Its images are mirrors of psyche and cosmos, a deck of living correspondences. When you draw a card, you do not summon fate. You reveal resonance. The archetype that reaches is the vibration already active within you, seeking recognition. All divination is conversation with the larger self. Correspondence also explains the mysterious beauty of coincidence. Two people thinking of each other at the same instant, a phrase heard in a dream repeating in waking life, a symbol appearing again and again. Until you finally listen, these are echoes of the greater pattern calling attention to itself. The more awake you become, the louder these echoes grow. They are breadcrumbs leading you home. Heinz calls it quantum entanglement, particles linked across space so that a change in one instantly affects the other. Hermes called it sympathy of things. Different language, same truth. Distance is illusion. Time is pliable. The field is one. When you begin to live by this awareness, gratitude becomes instinct. You thank the storm for watering the garden. You thank the heartbreak for deepening the capacity to love. You thank even confusion for keeping humility alive. Gratitude is the frequency that harmonizes every correspondence. It tunes you to the melody of the whole. And as this gratitude matures, you start to see the purpose behind polarity itself. All opposites exist to generate movement, and movement is the heartbeat of creation. When stillness and motion, heaven and earth, spirit and matter, recognize each other as mirrors, a higher octave is born, unity. That is where the Hermetic journey points, beyond reflection into realization. You stand now at that threshold. From here, the final revelation unfolds. The merging of personal awakening with collective ascension, the recognition that humanity itself is a single consciousness, remembering its divine origin. You have always been part of something immense, though the noise of the world taught you to forget. But forgetting was never failure, was design. The divine hid itself inside limitation, so that rediscovery would feel like wonder. Each awakening human is the universe catching sight of its own face in the mirror of matter. That is happening right now, through you. Look around. Everywhere. Old systems tremble, governments, economies, institutions of belief. Beneath the collapse, a new architecture forms. Networks of light, communities of heart. Science and spirit converging after centuries of separation. This is not coincidence. It is correspondence on a planetary scale. The above cosmic intelligence has reached critical mass in the below human consciousness. The two mirrors have aligned, and light passes freely between them again. The Earth herself participates. Her magnetic poles shift. Her frequency rises. Weather changes not only from carbon and temperature, but from consciousness. Recalibrating matter, she is not being destroyed. She is evolving, and we evolve with her. As above, so below. As within, so without. Imagine it visually. A vast field of luminous threads connecting every being. Each thought of compassion brightens the weave. Each act of cruelty dims it. From orbit, it would look like veins of light pulsing around the globe, flickering with human feeling. This is the true internet, the energetic web through which spirit communicates faster than any signal. When you meditate, pray, or simply sit in gratitude, you amplify that current. The calm you generate is not confined to your room. It ripples outward, soothing regions of conflict you will never visit. Your peace is planetary medicine. Do you see now why awakening matters? You are not one small individual trying to survive. You are a neuron in the cosmic brain. Every insight you gain becomes knowledge for the whole. Every kindness you express rewires reality itself. This is correspondence in motion, the micro-awakening, the macro. There will be moments when the world's pain feels unbearable. In those moments, remember the principle. The outer storm reflects the inner cleansing. Humanity is shedding centuries of separation, detoxing from illusion. When chaos rises, it is not the end of the story. It is the field reorganizing toward coherence. The alchemists knew this. They called it solvet, coagula, dissolve, and recombine. Old forms must break before new harmony emerges. That is what as above, so below means on the scale of civilizations. Destruction and creation as mirrored gestures of the same divine breath. Now close your eyes. Feel your heartbeat syncing with the pulse of the earth. Every beat sends light upward through your crown into the sky, connecting with stars, with galaxies, with the hidden heart of everything. On the exhale, light returns, information, memory, peace anchoring into your body, into soil, into history. Above and below trade secrets through you. Hold that awareness until you sense the unity behind movement. You are not meditating on the universe. You are meditating as the universe. This is the realization the mystics called gnosis. In gnosis, knowledge is no longer borrowed. It is embodied. You stop quoting truth and start vibrating it. Words fade because presence speaks louder. You become living scripture, a verse written by the cosmos on the page of time. The more people who remember this, the faster reality transforms. Imagine millions of hearts resonating in coherence. Wars would collapse from lack of energy. Economies would reorder around generosity. Technology would serve consciousness instead of control. The Garden of Eden would cease to be a myth. It would become geography. This is the prophecy encrypted in the Hermetic code. As above, so below was never just about stars and atoms. It was about destiny. The universe built a mirror into its own dream, so that one day it could awaken inside it. That day is unfolding now. Soon, new generations will study this era not as a time of crisis, but as the turning. They will see how lightworkers, scientists, artists, and ordinary souls remembered their cosmic citizenship and began rebuilding the world accordingly. They will understand that heaven and earth were never apart. They were always two sides of the same breathing organism. You are part of that lineage. You are a node of remembrance in the grid of awakening. Every time you choose awareness over autopilot, love over fear, presence over distraction, you strengthen the bridge between planes. That is how worlds ascend, not through escape, but through embodiment. And as you embody this truth, the everyday becomes holy. The way you greet a stranger, the patience in your voice, the choices you make when no one is watching, these are the real rituals. Each act radiates across dimensions. Take one last deep breath. Inhale the stars, exhale the soil. Let the words settle inside you. As above, so below, as below, so above. Feel how the sentence loops endlessly, erasing division, rewriting identity. You are the midpoint where infinity folds upon itself. Now open your eyes and look around. Notice how the room, the objects, even the light feels slightly altered. That's not imagination. Perception has widened. The mirror has cleared. Nothing outside changed you did. Remember this clarity when doubt returns. Remember that every ending hides its correspondence in a beginning. Remember that every darkness holds the blueprint of light. When you forget, the universe will remind you through synchronicities, dreams, whispers in the wind. It never stops speaking. We only stop listening. And when you listen again, you'll hear the same voice that speaks now, the one that has followed you through lifetimes, whispering the oldest truth: the universe is not above you, it is within you. The God you seek is the consciousness that seeks. If these words reached you, it is because your frequency matched the message. You are meant to remember. Stay connected to this temple of thoughts. Prescribe, not for entertainment, but for alignment. Each video here is another mirror, another piece of the cosmic puzzle returning to its place. Share this transmission so that other hearts may awaken to their reflection in you. Write in the comments what part of this message lit the spark inside. Your story might become the signal another soul has been waiting for. Together, we weave the next octave of consciousness. Breathe once more. Lift your gaze to the unseen sky above. Feel the steady ground below, and know they are one continuous body. You stand at the center of creation's heartbeat. Live from that center. Speak from it. Love from it. You are the mirror through which the universe remembers itself. As above, so below, and through you, both become one.